There's just something about jazz piano that sounds like the instrument is telling you a story. On this week's Spotlight Music Series, we'd like to welcome back Brent Swaney, Director of Performances at Charleston Jazz, and pianist Gerald Gregory, who you just might see whizzing past you in a tux on a skateboard through the downtown city streets. Great to have you both.
Thanks.
Not to mention a fantastic jazz pianist. So we can't wait to hear your performance after the break. Let's talk about this upcoming performance right now, Eye of the Beholder. And so this is paying tribute to a very famous jazz pianist, Corea. So maybe you can tell me a little bit more about just what his music was like, what his influence was on jazz as a whole.
Well, his influence on jazz as a whole is spanning a tremendous breadth of time. He started as kind of in the traditional piano trio setting, played with Miles Davis, started getting out into more electronic music, formed his own bands, and then kind of was limitless in what he did for 50 plus years.
Now I can't say a jazz connoisseur, but I do love listening to jazz music. And to me, when I listen to him play, when I listen to other musicians play, when you hear the piano, it really does sound like it's talking to you. Is that an assessment that you can get behind as a musician?
I can definitely agree with that. I've always associated playing with a vocabulary, and it's just having a conversation, and when he has no technical impediments and he can do and say whatever he wants and communicate with other members of the band, I think that's where how you would hear it as kind of talking to you. Mm-hmm. It's playful, it's fun, it's responding to other musicians, so he just was one of my favorites and has influenced jazz throughout.
And you're a bit of an influence yourself. I mean, you've played with some big names at Brooklyn Philharmonic. You've also performed with other well-known names. Maybe you can rattle off a couple for us.
I've played with Darius Rucker, hometown local, Erykah Badu, with a bunch. I've been very fortunate, and the most fortunate is playing with the musicians in this band, the Charleston Jazz Orchestra, people from around town. There's a tremendous talent pool here.
Sure.
So
Brent, your gentleman to your right here, I mean, you've heard him perform, so there was no doubt that you wanted to have him as part of this particular performance. Maybe you can tell us why.
Absolutely. Gerald is one of the best jazz piano players in Charleston, and he's actually a full-time member of the Charleston Jazz Orchestra, which is in its 14th season, and so we're super excited to be able to feature him and 3 other local piano players on this show on August 20th. Be at the Charleston Music Hall. It's going to be a fantastic show, and this, the concept of Eye of the Beholder, that's a song that Corea wrote some number of years ago, and the theme behind the show is that these 4 piano players, it's their point of view, right? Eye of the Beholder. It's art is from your point of view of how you perceive it. So Gerald and the other folks will get their chance to kind of give their point of view of Chick and his music and what it means to them.
I'm very excited about that. And piano's not the only instrument that you play. You also play a few others.
I have. Publicly, I would not.
No, is that right?
Yeah.
Only for just a very special audience.
Yeah, very select few.
Very select few. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You're going to be performing something for us after the break.
Yes.
And what is it called?
It's called Here and Gone.
Here and Gone.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear that. We're back after this.